iPhone 14 Pro depicted in renders with a pill and hole design instead of a notch. About a week ago, Ross Young of DSCC shared a timeline for the abandoning the notch on iPhones. According to it, the vanilla iPhone 14 models will keep it this year, while the iPhone 14 Pros transition to a pill plus hole design. CAD-based renders of the iPhone 14 Pro show off just that design. The Face ID module, which needs an emitter and an IR camera, go in the wider pill, while the single selfie camera go in a circular punch hole. Above and to the side of those are active pixels, freeing up more room on the status row on top. There is talk that the Face ID system will be moved under the display, leaving only the camera punch hole. However, some analysts don't think this design will be ready for this year, and these renders seem to confirm the pill plus hole design. Note that we're still months away from mass production of the iPhone 14 series, so these renders most likely represent a prototype rather than the final design. A few other things to note on the renders. Yes, there is a lighting port on the bottom, and yes, there is a card slot on the side. Every year we get quite a few rumors saying that the next iPhone will use USB-C or abandon wires altogether, or even drop the physical SIM in favor of eSIM. More credible rumors suggest that this year there will be a wide divide between the vanilla models and the Pros. The 14 Pro Duo is expected to drop the notch, and the vanilla phones won't follow until 2024. Other expected differences for this year include the Pros upgrading to the Apple A16 chipset, while the vanilla models stick to the current A15. The Pros may also get 48MP cameras. Promotion, i.e. 120Hz, is unlikely on the vanilla phones, and there may be more. Again, it's too early for a final design to have emerged, so take these as maybe, not certainly. If you're a fan of the iPhone notch, you're really not going to like this analysis article, and the iPhone 14 really isn't going to spark any joy with you. We've recently seen sketches of the new iPhone 14 Pro, coming from a leaker on Chinese social media site Weibo. This includes dimensions of the phone, so we know, assuming they're accurate, that it'll be taller, thicker but less broad, but only by a few millimeters or less, so nothing to write home about. What's more interesting is that the image shows two punch holes in the screen to house the front camera and Face ID array, in place of the notch that the iPhone 13, and earlier Apple smartphones, boast. Despite most Android manufacturers banishing the notch years ago, save for a few super-budget phones, some Apple fans have been holding onto this antiquated design feature. Analysis. Notch time to die. It's been a really busy few weeks for the iPhone 14, because even though the phone is only expected to launch in September, there's been a bizarre influx of leaks of computer-assisted designs, CADs, for the device. We saw iPhone 14 renders here and iPhone 14 Pro renders here, all showing the same thing: no notch, and dual camera cutouts instead. To fans of iPhone notches, this has probably not been a great week. Every news story repeats the refrain: the iPhone 14 won't have a notch. This writer isn't exactly a fan of the notch, but can imagine it's not exactly a fun time for fans of the design feature. Every story on the web is reminding you of the loss of your beloved bar. But this is the nature of time. Nothing lasts forever, and the notch is a design feature that was destined to be dropped when something better came along. Are punch holes better? Well, slightly, but they'll also go the way of the dodo once under-display cameras stop being terrible. We don't know for certain that Apple is dropping the notch. The Apple event in September could bring us a startlingly similar iPhone to ones we've seen before. But given how much the cutout has been leaked, And how little we've heard about the notch, it seems all but confirmed.